guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing this Dior Skin Forever Skin Dior, whatever it's called. I'm going to be reviewing this foundation because I did pick it up a while ago. I had a friend try it on me at an event I was going to and I loved it, but she did use it with other products and I didn't know, is it the foundation that's good or is it everything else you put on my face that is good? So yeah, I'm going to show you how I apply it, what I think is best to apply it with, how much I have to apply in this next clip. So if this tickles your fancy, just keep on watching. So I've got the foundation here. I'm going to apply it on one side of my face with this YSL brush. I don't even know what brush this is anymore, but it's like my favorite brush. It had the indent of the YSL there. And then I'm gonna apply one side of my face with the Beauty Blender to see what applies better. This is really, I have one other foundation brush. I use this brush, the other brush, or my hands, or the Beauty Blender. So I figured I would apply it with the two that I use the most and show you guys what it looks like on. So I'm going to do the brush first, actually. 2 pumps. We'll do this side of my face. And apparently you don't need to use a primer with this foundation. So although it is on the more expensive side, if you're not having to apply a primer, that is something that you can take out of, I guess, your makeup costs. So it feels pretty nice to apply, really nice and fluid. It's not like drying so instantly that you can't buff it or work it into the skin, which is super nice. I will say, I don't know how high coverage it is for dark skin because I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but I can still see some dark spots through my makeup, which I personally do not like. So I think I've got it on one side. You can see it in comparison to my other side. I think it's a flawless match color-wise. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize any differently because I think it's a perfect match for my skin. So I think I'm gonna apply the other side now with the Beauty Blender because I think it's as worked in as it's gonna be for one coat. Okay, so now I'm going to take the Beauty Blender. Look at the end of this. When my dog was a puppy, he got the end of it. I'm gonna put it on the butt side then. 2 pumps. Be it that it was still showing some of my scars through with the brush, I don't really have high hopes for the Beauty Blender because the Beauty Blender takes some of the product with it. All right, so not as bad as I thought, but it's deaf on the side here. So definitely, if you're a high coverage person, you're gonna want to use 2. You're gonna wanna build this up. You're gonna do 2 coats of this, which I guess for the price, I don't know how amazing that is because if I have to use more of it and it's not covering as much, then I'm obviously gonna go through it way faster. Whereas definitely 2 pumps with my YSL Touche Éclat foundation, 2 pumps is like too much foundation. So we'll talk about that after. I think I'm gonna use the brush just because I don't wanna waste any more product. I'm not super unimpressed with the Beauty Blender, maybe if my face had no flaws to it, but I'm gonna go back in with the brush for sure because I do feel that it applied a little bit more of a full coverage with the brush. And I'm just touching up the dark spot areas. I'm not putting the foundation absolutely everywhere. All right, I think that is pretty perfect. Yeah, I think that's unreal. I don't know if I've ever had such a good match. I did have this foundation used on me when I went to the Fleur de Ville event, if you follow my blog or if you follow me on Instagram. So I did have this tried on me before, so I did know it was going to be a pretty good match. I just wasn't really using it on myself. So yeah, I really like the color match. I just wish it was a little bit more full coverage, I think. So I'm gonna go finish doing the rest of my makeup and then I will chit chat with you guys and let you know my final thoughts. Okay guys, I did the rest of my makeup and as you can see, it is still looking pretty good. Now, a few things about this foundation I will note for you. Now there is SPF in it. I have taken a few selfies in it since I've got it and I didn't notice that it made my face any whiter. I'm sure some of you guys know that because MAC foundations are terrible for that, where you take a picture in it and because of the SPF in it, the flash makes your face end up looking more white in pictures. Haven't noticed that with this one at all. I will say if you don't set this foundation, it does feel so tacky. So I put my bronzer here and then I like bake through here and then up here on my forehead, and then I put my bronzer up in the hairline as well, and then I actually set my under eye concealer, which I think I've shown you in a video. I set my under eye concealer with the Hourglass Luminous Light powder. Yeah, I set it with that underneath there, so I don't find the need to use a translucent powder everywhere. But you do, if you do not like your skin feeling like it's shifting or moving because of your foundation, then you're definitely gonna have to set this. And I do find that it does look greasy and oily if you don't set it and you do wear this for the whole 16 hours that this foundation says it's going to last. I do feel it like it lasts that long, but I do think that it looks greasy and gross if you don't set it and you do wear it for that long. I will say what I love about this foundation is that it feels so velvety and so smooth and luxe when you're applying it. What I don't like about it is that I feel like I have to use a lot of it. It's supposed to be a high coverage foundation, but me having to go in and use 4 pumps of it when with my YSL Touche Eclat, I only have to use 2 and that is way too much. I don't necessarily think I would consider this a high coverage. I know Jaclyn Hill ranted and raved about this product a few months back, even though the product's been around for a while. Maybe they reformulated it because it does say on the bottle, and it said new on the Sephora website. Personally, how I got to try it, I think I mentioned this when I was applying it, is one of the girls at the local Dior counters had tried it on me and it was a perfect match, and then she gave me a sample and then I loved it and I went back and bought it. She did use like this spray on the brush that helped blur my pores as well, that I didn't pick up, and then I do think that that helped with my pores for that event. Because I don't feel like it wows me as much when I use this without that pore refining spray that she used. It was Dior as well. What I do like about this one, it's like a perfect match for me when I'm applying it, but I have noticed as the day wears on, especially because I do blend my foundation down my neck like that, I did notice that it does oxidize a little bit on the orange side for me, but it is way closer of a match than anything else besides my MAC foundations, which that's why I started reviewing foundations, because I'm trying to find other alternatives for darker skin and hyperpigmentation besides my MAC foundation. So out of everything else I've tried, this has definitely been the closest to my skin tone. Now, I think I just started saying this and already forgot, but I know that like this came back on the scene. Jaclyn Hill started talking about it, so started showing up in everybody's news feed. I think that's because the product was reformulated, because it was saying new on the Sephora website, and there's like all these stickers and stuff on it now. I don't know if everyone's bottle comes like this or if it's just in Canada that it comes like this. But sometimes, you know, I do try to take things with a little bit of a grain of salt, especially when it's like someone like Jaclyn Hill reviewing it. Not that I think she's fudging her review, but like her skin is freaking flawless to begin with. So that's where my heart is for videos like this, especially if you do have darker skin, especially if you do have hyperpigmentation. She doesn't have that issue. So sometimes I found when I was watching reviews of hers or people like her, it was kind of hard to see if that's going to be a foundation that works for me because she doesn't struggle with those issues. So it was great to see how flawless it looked on her skin, but on mine that has completely different issues. I don't think this is as perfect of a foundation just because, again, you do have to apply 2 layers and it does still, like there's even a spot on marks underneath there, But yeah, I think I'm kind of rambling on and saying this a bit of the same thing. I do like the foundation. It's super luxe. It's super smooth and velvety when you're applying it. You do have to use a bit more of it if you are, you've got like blemishes or dark spots to cover. But I do think it's worth it, honestly. It is a really nice foundation and it lasts a really long time. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, I think that's all I gotta say about it. I would love if you hit that like button, and if you haven't subscribed already, I would love if you did. Anyways, guys, I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.